Howdy, howdy, how y'all doing? My name is Sark, and it has been a while. It's been, what, since November, I think, or December, or... I think it was in November, those are the last videos that I recorded, but a lot has happened, so I had to take a break from recording for a while. Obviously, we're in Minecraft, but I need to talk for a second, just to get a couple things out of the way. Had some major life changes. The biggest one was that my kitty, Hody, he passed away in February, and he was very old. It's April now. He would have been 17 in April, and so he was very old, and I knew he was winding down. I knew it was at the end of his life, right around Christmas time. I kind of wanted to spend as much time as I could with him, so I just kind of forwent recording anything in favor of just, sitting with him, because all he really wanted to do was curl up on my lap and sleep most of the time. We watched a lot of videos, but he passed away, and that was hard, but I think it's time I pick back up again. But a couple other life changes are in the works. I live in an RV, so this is in an RV, and while I was cleaning up, gathering up Hody's belongings and cleaning up the trailer, I noticed that I have a bunch of black mold in the trailer, so that has to be taken care of, and that probably means that I have to buy a new trailer. So all of my life savings is going to be going towards that. Not quite looking forward to that, because I love this trailer. I gutted the whole thing and redid everything. I'm very happy with the way it looks, but all things must come to an end, so I'm just trying to find a new place, and that's been taking up a lot of my time, but I need a break, so I need to do something fun. So I'm playing video games again. But obviously we're in Minecraft, so let's just do something fun and not dwell on weird real life stuff. So we're going to be going in here and making our way up to this project that I have worked on, which has also been something that I have been doing because Hody loved to curl up on my lap and just play a little bit of Minecraft with me. So I built this. Took a couple 100 hours. It's obviously a Fury class Imperial Interceptor, like the kind that in Star Wars The Old Republic, the Sith Warrior and Sith Inquisitor have. Let's just do a quick fly around. Well, it's gonna take forever because it's so huge. It's not just any Interceptor, though. This is supposed to be the Archon Red, which is the Interceptor. The few of you that actually watch these videos that might know. I don't have a huge audience, so some of you probably know. I write a fan fiction. It is 40 or 50 chapters long at this point, and the main characters have a ship that is a Interceptor, and it's called the Archon Red, and this is that ship. So it's customized. It's different than the ones that not too different, but I mean we'll get in and everything. It's not just the outside, the inside is fully finished. Like, I spent a lot of time making sure everything was just so with this thing. The underside is hard to see, but the underside is all done. The top is all done. I mean, every detail that I could think of adding, I have added, and tried to make it look as close to the original design as I possibly could. It was super fun to make. I had a hell of a time making it, and of course I also had to make a landing pad to put it on. That took quite a long time as well. Because I don't use any editing programs. I make everything just by placing blocks in plain old vanilla Minecraft. But I'd love to see this thing with the fancy lighting that you can get. But I forgot where I put those files, and I haven't re-downloaded them because internet's been a little shoddy. Yeah, so we're going to get in this. But first, we get in through here because this is all functional. Well, as functional as Minecraft can make it, at least. So it has a little bunker. I'll kind of like the ones in Return of the Jedi, because I really like the look of the bunkers and the landing pads in Return of the Jedi. Obviously the time frames are different, but ask me if I care. I don't care. So here's a little computer. And I cannot, for the life of me, figure out redstone properly. So these doors don't open. They don't. This does, though. So we'll go in here. Another computer. And we go down here. And make the long-ass trek all the way up. I'm gonna see if I can maybe speed this up here as fast as I can. Because you're going underground and under the lake that I should not have built this thing on, but I did. Because location was not really at the forefront of my brain. So up here, about halfway through, we get to the, where's the main one? Yeah. We get to these little walkways. And I won't dwell too much on this. There's no need. It's fairly simple. Where's the upstairs? There it is. Alright. Go. There we are. There we go. So there's a view. And I might actually, let me make it daytime again. There we go. So this is monitoring station. You gotta have your computers and your switches and all that shit. Get up here. And this would be what, the fueling hub? I guess. Fueling hub. It was pretty easy to make. Yeah, then you go up here to the ship. It is huge. I never really appreciated the scale of this ship until I tried to build it. I did not realize how much of a project this was going to be when I first decided that I was going to try and make it. This is the Archon Red. Go up in the main area. This is the entry hall. On either side, we have cargo bays with miscellaneous boxes and, I'm assuming, Sith relics of some sort. There. Over here, whoa. Over here, starboard. This would be the shipping container for moving Jukata, the Tukata Sith spawn that the main character has. And the main character in my story is nearly 9 feet tall. So he's huge. So everything is scaled slightly up in here. Just because he's such a big boy. But yeah, we've got, what would these be? The escape pods. There's nothing really special about them. Oh, and there's access ways. There's access both under and overhead. throughout the entire ship. So there's little tiny hatches and access ports for maintenance throughout the whole thing. So this is the main commons area, like the seats, miscellaneous cups that the characters have left lying around. The little hollow chest, I guess, for Jajaric. This is the communications, computer, navigation. But let's start up here. Decorations. Because they live in this ship almost full time, so they have made it very, very personalized. Here's a bridge. And, since he's so huge, of course he's got a very big chair to sit in. But, yeah, it looks out over the center part of the ship. But the layout is as similar to the main layout, in here. Like, it's as similar to the Old Republic version of the Fury-class ship as I can possibly imagine it. I'm sure other people could do a much better job, but this is how I ended up doing it. But let's start over on this side. So we have most of the crew's quarters are on this side of the ship. We have Estelle. Now, her room is a mess because everything about her is a mess. Random droid, miscellaneous parts, mechanical stuff, random skull, just all kinds of shit that she collects over time. And everything is very yellow because she's a BIM and they love yellow. And then we have Arion's quarters. They have, what would this be? The acclimatization room? It's for, like, repressurizing it, because they've got all of that gear on, because they need special gear for breathing and whatnot. This equalizes everything so that they can have their gear off in their own room. I forget what that room is called. Very neat and tidy quarters, and they're fancy. They have their own refresher in here. It's fairly simple, but there's a public refresher for the others. And then we have Dom's quarters here, and since in the course of the story events and whatnot, he also has an equalizer, whatever, acclimatization chamber before going to his quarters. Here we go. He likes things neat and tidy too. Here we go. And then the very ends of the ship are identical, so I'll only go through one of them, just to show y'all. But this is an airlock. Can't, obviously... Well, I mean, you can. There's buttons, but, you know, it just goes to the outside of the ship. And this is the gunnery station, one of them. You can actually see out there, but mostly it's targeting computers and whatnot if you want to manually do it, rather than using the bridge. Buttons in Minecraft are the bane of my existence. There we go. And then up here we have the observation deck. This is very different from the original layout. I don't even remember what is over here to begin with in the original layout of the ship. But here it's an observation deck. They've modified this to hell and gone. So it's very chill, very relaxing. You've got big comfy couches. You've got big windows to look out of. You have a reading nook. You have the refresher for everybody to use. This is a toilet. Pretend it works. There's a shower, storage, sink. And then up there, you'll notice that there's space in there. That's because there's an access way up there. So you can go through the crawl spaces to get up overhead. There's also stuff underneath. It's throughout the entire ship. I was very proud of that. And then you have the spare quarters. This is where Halon stays for a short time with them. Jedi Master Halon. So they don't really... They keep it pretty sparse for visitors like him because, you know, he's just temporary. That and addressed in the main character, he don't like him anyway, so, you know. Starboard engine. The engines are identical, except they're mirrored, so... Yeah, there's another more access up there. I tried to get these to replicate as closely as I could the engine rooms in the Old Republic version of the ship. But there's only so much you can do with massive blocks. But I had a good time attempting. Here we go. Back through here. Let's go on this side. Port side, a little bit different. Here's Medbay. Medbay is in the same location as in the typical Fury-class ship. You've got the Bacta tank, or Colto. I guess it would be Colto at the time of the Old Republic. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Diagnostic computer, diagnostic chair for sitting in. Again, everything's scaled up to fit Adrestin and his giant dragon ass. We've got recovery beds. There we go. And down this way you have the port side engine. Again, same layout as the other one, just mirrored in reverse. Got these engines. And then you have the brig. Here we go. I hate the way these blocks sound, but I like the way they looked. But brig quarters are very sparse because it's a brig and a Sith ship. You know how that goes. Storage lockers, little observation station, I guess, with monitoring. Here we go. And this leads to the airlock and the other gunnery station. Oh, it's not time now. We won't go in there because it's identical. Sparring hall. This is where they have their practice sessions for lightsaber training and all of that. And this is Adrestin's shrine for... This is the closest I could get to a lightsaber display. But all of the lightsabers that he's collected from all of the Jedi that have either gifted them to him or he has killed and taken their lightsabers. But main feature and part of the storyline there. More access way down there. But back out here. And then we have Darth Bellos is Adrestin's Darth name, and of course Sivan, the main Jedi character. He ends up staying in the same quarters with him. It is very, very dark in here. I like it that way. He likes it that way. Got dresser, computer, and his myriads of books and Sith relics, and all of that jazz. It's extremely dark in here because this is his meditation chamber. Very, very dark. I mean, at some point it's just completely black. And then he has his own private refresher. Of course, it's very upscaled and also extremely fancy because Why not have a little luxury when it's your own damn ship, right? A little closet right there. Here we go. It's very cozy. I wish I had a room that looked like that. And that was it for that wing. And then we have the last parts here. We've got our refresher here for general use. Nothing really much different about it. There we go. And then we have the galley, where Dresden spends a lot of his time because he's obsessed with cooking. And it's very homey. It's, of course, upscaled because, you know, 9-foot tall dragon man. But, you've got magnetic containers for spices and stuff like that. It's just a little bit too tall. Then you've got the chairs you could sit in. Little chandelier. Very cute. Herbs and whatnot. Of course, they must be magnetic for staying up there through travel. And the pantry. Here's a pantry. But probably the easiest way to access the other parts of the ship is through here. Now, they go all throughout the ship, just connecting the miscellaneous parts of the ship. Let's just go up here real quick so you can see what I mean. There we go. And, you know, everything is as labeled as I can get it. Pantry access from above. But you get it. I'll get lost if I... It's very hard to navigate just because it's so enclosed and it's easy to get turned around. So, and it's very boring because it's all just tiny little access ways. There we go. So that's the ship. That's most of it. There we go. It was such a blast to make. And very cathartic, too. Making this made me really want to start writing the story again. So I'm going to be working on that as well. Lately, I've been doing a little bit of... I think I have another chapter almost done. So hopefully, by the time I get this video uploaded and posted, I'll be almost ready to post another chapter, if there's anybody that still follows it. But yeah, since we're out here at night, you can see this whole thing. Oh, ignore that. That's a different project that I had going on in the background there. I should have built this in my dedicated Star Wars building world, but I didn't. This was a new world that I just started farting around in and just, I don't know, got away from me, I guess. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. The landing pad looks pretty cool at night with all the lights underneath and above. But yeah, that is the ship. I'm going to be rebuilding this entire thing again. In another world that's just a flat world, and I'm going to encase it in solid black blocks and make just a few light blocks. See if I can make it look like there's stars around it. We'll see how that works. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but if it does, then I might post something on that one too. But yeah, this was a really fun project to do. I really enjoyed it, but it's good to be back recording. It's really good to be back recording. So hopefully, oh, I have a few other videos. I think I have about half a dozen videos that I actually recorded way back in November, but I never posted. So this video is going to go up, but then videos after this one, there's going to be about half a dozen of them that are just short little 1 or 2 shot videos of a couple different games. So, like, obviously I've changed my hair so since then, so it's gonna be old me for a couple of videos, and then I'm gonna start recording some new ones after that. Yeah, so it's been really nice. I missed doing this. So anyway, thank you kindly for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.